made you mad. When I gave all that I never had, you got me going through changes of life with you. Are you sure you wanna live? Think it over, babe. 'Cause girl, I believe, I think you just might wanna change your mind. Know that you got my love. You don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Yeah. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. You don't come around. Now that you got all my loving, you got me standing on shaky ground. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Before you leave out the door, before you leave out the door, baby, won't you change your mind? Really wish you would change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Now that you got my love, you don't need.
Happy Wednesday, people. Welcome to the Kris the Critic Show.
Hey,
I'm Kris. The beautiful person next to me is Gina B.
how y'all doing?
Hopefully, all of you all have recovered from 420.
Whew.
I'm sure Gina B probably
What a
had
day.
a decent day yesterday.
Now I'll tell you what. I could actually breathe a sigh of relief after the verdict was delivered.
What
I
verdict? Was there a
actually
trial?
Canceled meetings because I didn't think I'd be able to make it through. Like I was nervous. My heart was pounding the whole day.
I saw some of your social media posts. I made it a point to
not
not
to
say anything
I'm glad you
because I
didn't.
thought this trial may end
Wrong.
similarly. And if you've been living on another planet, the Derek Chauvin trial, he's in another place now with new friends.
He needs to be in another place. Well, I don't know. He might be. I hope they have him in some sort of protection. And the reason is
You want him to serve that sentence?
look,
I got you.
he cannot commit suicide.
Right.
If he is on suicide watch,
I'm sure that's why they didn't.
he needs to be under surveillance because that mofo needs to serve every single year that he is given. Or, people, we've been back and forth. Like, so should it be death penalty? Like, we don't have that. I mean, but, if that were the preference, because we're paying for him to live, right? Like, so, but I'm like, no. See, death is too good for him.
I do. I want him to live, but I won't.
Death is too good.
We're not going to spend too much time on that.
No, because I can wax ad nauseum
I know
on this
that's
topic.
a big.
That's
a
true.
big thing for a lot of people.
It is. It was a big thing for me.
But just remember before we get it, it's just a start. All right.
Yep.
So, people, today we're going to talk about something that is very near and dear to all of us. How do I know this? Because I see a lot of your names. I stalk some of your pages. I don't tell you I do, but I do. We all do a little bit of stalking. But we're going to talk about the effects of social media
I strangle myself.
on relationships, dating, marriage,
Yep.
all in between. So we'll talk about the big four: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. That's part of the big four now.
TikTok, yeah.
But we play our lives out, don't we? I mean, don't
On
we see each other?
social media.
We typically see the spectacular of
Yes.
our lives.
Yes.
You guys see all my kids' great grades. You don't see any bad ones.
You don't see the bad grades.
You don't see the bad ones.
No.
You see me smiling,
Yes.
hugged with my better half. You don't see the arguments.
No.
Because that's too much like real life.
It's too much information.
We don't like real life in social media world. We only like the best. But we do see, we see birthdays. I went to a ridiculously nice birthday party. 2 DJs.
No masks. FYI.
4 tents.
And no masks.
Chef.
No masks.
I mean, it was off the chain.
No
Bar
masks.
in house. It's predominantly outdoors.
I don't care.
All right?
Let me just
Take the vaccine.
No.
Take the vaccine, Gina B.
Just because
Take the vaccine.
you are vaccinated does not mean that
Double
you
vaccinated.
cannot both.
Double vaccinated.
Does not mean that you cannot both catch and spread COVID.
Agreed.
I'm just saying.
Agreed.
It,
Now-
it does not mean that we should be out buck wild, breathing on each other, hugging people
Right.
with no masks on.
Right.
That is the wrong way to live right now.
Absolutely.
Because cases, I mean, I don't know if anyone's talking about this, but cases are going up. Like,
Hey.
everyone's like, oh, COVID is over because I've got a needle in my arm.
We won't belabor this, but I'll say this. And
Wrong.
I've told you this before.
Uh-huh.
We either should have shut down the whole country. Nobody come outside for 3 weeks. If you do, you get arrested. You get a little bit of warning. You get some food. If you don't have it, too bad. The only people out are the homeless. Just shut it down entirely.
Shut it.
Or just don't shut anything down. Because the halfway, the sometimes we're shut down, the sometimes we're not. We're trending up. Flatten the curve. Haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
There is a curve to be flattened.
This whole in
so.
between, just open it up. Everybody get vaccinated. But look, so like I was saying, we play out our lives on these social media platforms, the birthdays.
Interwebs.
I'm sorry?
We play out our lives on these
We do.
interwebs.
Anniversaries. So obviously, your dating life, your marriage could possibly be affected. So
Could be.
the short answer is, it's toxic as hell. We can stop the show now. You want to change the subject?
We
Thank
done.
you. Good night.
We done. Mic drop. Boom.
But
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
actually, there are a couple things, and I've been doing this a while.
A little bit.
Kris the Critic has existed since 2009, since I was 28. But anyway,
Gina B has been a while. A little longer.
so how? There's some
Bruce is
problems
okay.
with it. Here's some of the problems I see. And this is where I need my audience participation, because this is one of the wittiest group of folks that I've ever seen. So it affects dating because, at least for guys, you lose the art of macking. You lose the art of macking, of gaining somebody's attention. You know?
In person.
So, yeah, absolutely. So all they're left with is your declining game because you don't get to speak. Hey, how you doing? Tell me about your day.
There's no like chemistry.
For real?
no personal
Exactly.
chemistry
I can't see how you
created.
look. I can't see. You can't read my body. You might like how I look, but you can't see me. And I might be a horrible typer.
Well, this is the same problem
And
with
you just
online
lose out.
dating, right? Online dating does not allow you
Right.
to create a personal chemistry with someone.
I'm
in
going to
the
eat some
beginning.
candy, by the way. Go ahead.
Those sweet Smarties that he likes.
Smarties.
Yeah.
One of the best little hard candies ever. Go ahead.
Anyway, I don't like Smarties. But, the thing about social media is it's not real.
It's real.
No, it's not real.
It's just your best self.
It's a certain percentage real.
There you go.
So whatever percentage that is, right? So who's living their best self 75 to 100% of the time?
I was going to say, a lot
Not
of it is
most people.
all real. It's just not, everything.
No,
per se.
it is not. I mean, it's think about 25% of the time, maybe you're amazing. Like it's not a real representation of who you are. But okay, so now there's a couple different ways. Okay, so are we talking about meeting people via social media? Or are we talking about letting your relationship unfold on social media?
And that's what I was
Two
getting to. Your
different things.
relationship can unfold. There are a
It
lot
can.
of pitfalls to look out for. So because you've lost the art of macking, we've lost the art of communicating in person.
Right.
Couple that with the pandemic. So it's been a lot of, for those who are just starting out, okay? So right now we're talking about just dating.
Okay.
But not only has it limited our ability to see, touch, feel each other, feel some movement, but we also, while on those sites, we look at a lot of celebrities.
We do.
Those very beautiful, filtered, made up folks.
The Instagram model,
So now they're living their best life,
right?
with way more money than your average Joe. Maybe they're on a TV show. And you all of a sudden think, I'm supposed to have that. That's real. They're having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the bills, the problems, the headaches, the badness, the good, better, for better, worse, the sickness, health. And we think we're supposed to have something perfect. And we'll get into, we talked about this before.
Well,
we talked about
that's just life, right? Like
unrealistic dating expectations when we did that.
But okay, so first you have the unrealistic expectation where you see the person and you're like, that's supposed to be me.
Right.
And then when you compound a dating situation on top of it, right?
Right.
It makes it even worse because there are some couples that live their lives on YouTube and on Instagram,
It's a bad thing.
etc. And okay, as far as I'm concerned, sure, it's fun to feel like you're voyeuristically watching these people and that's all great and everything, but understand that you're only seeing kind of,
Right.
part of it. And then some of those, I've watched a couple of YouTube couples that like have up and just, we're getting divorced. Like, when did that happen?
Right.
It's because you don't see all of their relationship played out on YouTube. So,
Right.
yeah.
So, and we're going to get into the marriages, but for people just dating, and I have a lot of guy friends, you have a lot of guy friends, I have a lot of girlfriends, you have a lot of girlfriends. It's turning people into hoes. There's less time putting in work. It's sending a couple messages, DM, pick. We talk, we finally talk.
Slide
Right.
into
You get a
somebody's
little bit.
DMs.
And people getting in and quitting it.
Or
Turning people into hoes. Maybe some people think it's a good thing.
I was watching,
Certain
and I
people know.
forgot the name of the show. Maybe somebody who's watching can remind me of the name of the show. But it's a show about the wives of artists.
Mm-hmm.
And Neo's wife, whose name is Crystal, I think, there was a show focused on her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Neo met his wife by sliding into her DMs on Instagram and then inviting her to be in his video. And she's interesting, by the way.
Celebrities are big on that.
But I mean, it's like, really? Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
A lot of basketball players do it.
Yeah, I guess because
Drake
you know
does it.
what? When they go
Drake
out,
knows every stripper in every major city.
yeah, okay. So to Neil Jackson, okay, yes, Behind Every Man, that is the show. It's
Shout out to
interesting.
Neil Jackson. Keeps us very informed here.
I love
in the
it.
What's in it for the Black people.
Our whole
Studios.
audience, we've got some good people. We've got Boosie Latham, we've got Karen Allen, we've got
Kay Allen on?
Jackson. Yeah, she
Wayne
was on.
O'Shep.
She just commented.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
We'll get to
but
those.
it's interesting because the celebrities can't, when they go out, they're stormed with, just your random,
Right,
everyday, garden variety hoe, right?
right.
So maybe Instagram is their hunting ground for people.
But what it does to men is we think the single ones, I'm out the game, so I'm just living through y'all. So there are a lot of Herb's producing for us tonight. Herb, a lot of nice looking Instagram models, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, well,
So-
who knows what's really going on with those IG
They got
models.
great personalities too. But what happens is, if you look at a couple hundred of great looking, small waisted, big chested, big booty, nice, friendly looking women in two pieces, you want one. And same with women.
You want one.
You-
Like you're going to pick it up from the,
but I'm telling you,
I want her. I'm going to order her from
listen.
the IG
You
catalog.
put a regular looking guy on the if he doesn't look like some chocolate dude with braids, strolling down the beach, just super rippled with some of those little tie up pants on.
Yeah.
The women send those out all
The
day.
gray sweatpants.
Send a regular dude out.
Yeah.
Show a picture of me when I wake up.
No one's
And
trying
say,
to
hey,
see.
what about this guy?
No one is trying to see.
He look like he don't even have no money.
Well, everyone wants to see this sensationalized version of people
Right.
on the gram, right? I did a little experiment some years ago.
Okay.
Not that many years ago, obviously, because Instagram's only been around but a couple of years ago when I was working out a lot. And I was like, let me see what happens. Like people, a moderate amount of people like my pictures, and that's fine.
This is before you were engaged?
This is before I was engaged.
So you were throwing up there. Are there
I
some
was
Gina
dating.
B Instagram thought photos in existence?
They're not really thoughty.
Herb,
They're not
call
really,
the research department.
They're not really thoughty. They're not super thoughty. They were just
Gina B is so probably that's probably a fiance like
whatever.
where those pages at.
Bitch, take the pictures. No, they weren't even thoughty pictures. They were just pictures of like like torso like workout pictures, right? And I'm like, okay, this is about as thirst trappy as I'm gonna get.
Right.
I'm not like, ooh, let's throw on some draws. You know what I mean? That's not
I think
gonna
anybody
be
who's
my
ever
thing.
posted a picture
But,
is slightly in varying degrees.
you know, whatever. So I was working out and I was like, let me just post some like, you know, some torso pictures. And I got hundreds. I mean, it was like crazy. I was like, okay, so why do I get so many likes? I'm like the same person. I mean, it was crazy.
What was your name on there? Did you have a whole?
My name is the same name. I didn't
allegedly.
change it.
You can tell us later.
Yeah. Well, it's Gina Spot. I didn't change it. I mean, it's there. They're there somewhere. You have to scroll down pretty far to find them because I haven't done any of
Okay,
those
so now
lately.
on the flip side, so we talked about turning you into hoes, right?
Turning your hose.
You have unrealistic expectations of what he or she's supposed to look like. It's just not real life. And chances are, if you're one of the millions of who look on there, those people, I mean, they're made up, they're filtered. And some of them are great looking people, but they are very much so a small percentage of the population.
Right.
And if they're anything like the men and women you see on reality shows, they have the brains of, I don't know, a silver
my
spoon or a box of rocks. They're the dumbest people and the most ignorant. IGNANT, the most ignorant people I've ever seen. And the older I get, I don't know how it works for other guys. I don't like all of that. All right, when I was 20, you look like, I don't know, Miss USA. Or Miss Black USA.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
You could be as ignorant as you want to be. Now if your voice gets too high, I'm like, you know what? I
can't with you.
Throw you and your whole Instagram body away.
Listen,
I want you to make me a sandwich.
I follow a lot of fitness people.
Okay.
Because
you
just do.
Because you're into that. Because you get moved by the internet.
Well,
you went nuts over a trial.
I did.
We saw it. You almost forgot we had a show.
I did not.
And you
forget
talked
we
about
had a
George
show.
Show for 10 minutes.
I did not forget we had a show.
Okay, go ahead.
I just felt it was important to discuss. But anyway, no. So I follow a lot of fitness people because I do a lot of working out at home.
Right.
So I follow a lot of fitness people, and so it ends up like sometimes you end up conversing with these people like one on one somehow. Right?
Do you have a lot of people you don't really know that you are?
Oh yeah.
I argue with a lot of
Instagram. I'm a whole different.
I argue with a lot of conservatives.
I don't. Well, okay. The conservatives that I argue about
They're
happen to
conservatives
be
that-
on my fiance's page.
There's some
I don't know
conservatives-
how he finds these
You
people.
know how I found a couple of the other side followed Kris the Critic.
The whites?
Great show. You're the whites, the females. You're the whites.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're good looking man.
Yeah.
So, but let's go on to people who are in relationships. The biggest danger, and that's the biggest group of folks. Mm-hmm. It makes it harder to move on if you break up with somebody.
Oh, that was, yes. Okay.
But
so
because
let's-
think about it, you've
It's
taken
horrible.
8 million. Because like the last 6 dudes you met online, you thought it was going to last forever.
Right.
And now there's a library of
your whole
pictures
life.
of you two. Even if you take the time and go through and erase those, I'm
And
sure
surgically removed.
he took some.
Right.
Some random people
can
took some.
untag.
That person just keeps popping the fuck up.
Well, or there's there's a way in Facebook where you can remove people from your history. Like you can
Won't see them, but it'll still be there.
They'll be there unless you delete them, right? Unless he
But
doesn't.
if they took a picture of you,
they're there.
you can never get rid of that.
Right.
It's
exactly.
just out there.
It's there. It's true.
So if you're cool with that, cool. But it just makes it harder to move on if you're constantly,
I've
should I
thought
be
about
with him?
that.
Should I go back? She didn't cheat that much. You know what
Listen,
I'm saying?
we have 11 years of pictures. And so I was like, so if this doesn't work out,
Yeah.
that means that I then need to just like pack up my entire social media presence
I didn't think about all the
and
pictures
commute it.
until at least Facebook gives you those memories. My
Yeah.
weight has gone up and down and up and down. I'm just damn yo-yo.
One of the reasons why I post so much on Facebook, honestly,
Right.
is so that I'll have the memory.
Yeah, that's a good thing
I
about
post a lot on Facebook because of the but
You're getting in the end
that's
of the show.
the memory.
There's some good stuff about
That's
social
the
media.
memory, though,
Right.
that you don't want when you
Right.
break up.
Right.
And but some people are oversharers though on Facebook. Have you ever you can always tell when someone has got problems with their significant
Exactly.
other, and they say things like, "When you thought somebody had your back, but they don't," and then blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, I need you to chill, right? So
Absolutely.
you've seen those posts, right?
This has nothing to do with relationships.
That is a relationship
I know
thing?
that is
Okay.
it, but
Okay.
oversharing, to your
Overshare.
point. Buddy of mine posts his dad in the hospital. Selfie.
Oh,
He
why
says
would
his
you do
father,
that
he's like,
to
my
your
dad's having a
parents?
minor procedure, pray for him. He says his father woke up and was like, take my
Take
damn
that
picture
shit
off the internet.
off. Right.
So now I'm telling you, if I'm real sick, I don't care if I weigh 92 pounds.
Don't.
Show some old pictures. Tell Kris was crazy. Remember him drinking? And show pictures. Look back to my fat pictures and show those so I look real healthy.
Well, but I mean, I just feel like it's disrespectful to just post
It
pictures
is.
of people when they. I know people too. They'll post pictures of their parents, and their parents are in compromising, like, you know, seat
Right.
positions, and so you know, I posted with my father, but only like, you know, funny stuff, like
Right.
only pictures of like him and I hanging out, holiday, you know. But I won't post a picture of like my dad's not feeling well today. Look,
My mother only lets. I got to get a signature. She's like, "How's my hair? Is it looking too?"
right,
She might be watching. I'm not even. I apologize, but
right.
Let me talk a little bit about the marriage folk. Now, the same applies to single folk, but I'm about to get into some of the things you all didn't know. Because I got some notes.
Okay.
I do a little research. I
Kris
prepare
got
for
a
y'all.
list. Kris got a list. Go ahead.
Marriage folk. 1 in 10 couples.
1 in 10. That's high. Okay.
Someone from that couple, or
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, I guess 2 people out of 10,
Okay.
hides posts from their significant other. 1 in 10 persons hides a post. So 1 out of 10 married folks, they're hiding posts.
Okay, so what kind of posts are they hiding? Hiding posts that they're posting,
Now,
or
I admit it.
what are they-
I'm gonna throw myself out here. All right, I know everybody who knows me is like,
Mrs. Levy, are you watching?
Kris Levy's the coolest dude I've ever seen. If he
Uh-huh.
does it, I want to do it. All of that, right?
I'm checking our YouTube.
But I wasn't used to social media, so I was snap on everything. Who is this dude you took? But back you said that, but she's like, it's my cousin. He lives in California. I'm like, oh, my fault. So you got to be careful, all right?
You
so
do have
gotta
to be careful. You for sure
But
do.
just know that 1 in 10 hides a post. 1 in 3 divorces start off online. Did you hear me?
Start off
Now
online,
this is married people.
meaning the reason for the breakup.
I didn't say that. I said 1 in 3
I
divorces.
don't know what that means though.
Well, maybe it's any divorce. Multiple issues are going on.
They're
Right.
online reasons.
But
They're
but
like,
the online, whatever the online sparked it.
okay, online is what sparked the reason.
Make no
Okay.
mistake, there are a lot of men and women, aside from the married folks, who come up. So for every woman that you see, I don't know why these guys are sliding up in my DM, because that shit has worked for them.
Yeah.
That's why they do it.
Yeah. Listen,
And that
I
carries
guess.
itself over to people who are seeing each other. You got some sneaky, creepy people out there.
There are a lot. Look, I've had. Okay, so
You
there
got
have
a lot
been
of
people-
action. I mean, you got a lot going on. First, we found out you an Instagram model.
Oh, right. Yes, that is me. If
Now
you
we're
go,
finding
if you go
out
onto
you
my
snuck up in a
Instagram,
lot of people's DMs.
if you go onto my, I have not snuck.
You
up
never
in
know who
anybody's-
you're doing the show with.
I have not snuck up into anybody's DMs. Thank you very much.
Okay, go ahead.
But I have had people make inappropriate comments, or I've had, you know, if you go into
You have
that
a catalog full of
you,
pictures.
You go into that.
Girl, look at all of
filtered-
these deep pics
Right,
I
all
got.
these, yes, all these sweatpant pictures. You know, if you go into that filtered message section, you might be surprised at what you find. The messages from people that you're not friends with, like I get a lot of like, you know, I've got at one point I was very popular with the Nigerians, where I went in there, it's like all these people were, hello, you know, I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. Then people are just, you know, when poking was a thing, right? You get a lot of pokes. And it was funny because, you know, the fiance had to go and exterminate a few people that were making some comments on the page.
He's a
He's
G. I
just
like that.
Would you just like,
That's what
go
you're supposed
somewhere?
to do.
Like,
That's what you're supposed to do.
right. You're supposed to do that. Is
Exactly.
my phone popping off? Is there
I
something
mean, another
happening?
tip for the married folks.
Yes,
'Cause
please.
I'm partial to them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Never trash your significant other online,
Oh no, don't do that.
because then you'll be back together and people say, well, I thought he wasn't shit. I
Right.
thought she wasn't shit.
Yeah, you
Thought
can't
she
do
was
that.
a hoe.
You can't do that.
But you don't never. So don't trash. I always say don't trash a boyfriend or girlfriend, period, online, because they will come back.
And haunt ya.
And I've noticed that women, and it's not just the femininity, women, you all are ruthless assassins on social media. Lately, I've been, anybody say something that even seems like it's insulting, I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry, it's me. It's all my fault. You're a beautiful person, and anyone who upset you needs to be shot. So anyway. But yeah, never trash your spouse online.
No, don't do that. That's just not good form
and here's
anyway.
something I'm guilty of, especially since I've started doing Kris the Critic, and I've shown my wife a few. Don't friend the thirsties.
No.
I get random men and women. Some dudes like, call me, man. I want to pray for you and all of this. And I'm like,
I'm good.
That's what they're doing now.
Thank you.
That's what they're doing now. Yeah, exactly.
I'm good.
Yeah, I had people call in, ask for favors. Kris the Critic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking
Favors.
somebody with some relationship advice. They're like, hey, can you send something to my Cash App? I'm just having
People
a
will
down
pop
day.
in and ask you for money. I'm just saying.
They do.
You've got to make sure that you qualify those people and make sure that they're not like
Now,
sitting in.
on the flip side, you
Qatar.
should show some public online PDA. It's like a show. It's like holding hands. Sometimes your spouse wants to hold hands or hug and walk down the street. A little bit of that is okay. It's healthy.
It won't kill you.
No, and people like to feel loved and wanted.
So I believe in doing things that are natural online. Like, so for example,
There's nothing natural online.
no, but my point being, if you're showing your life, if you're a person who shares things online, like, oh,
so
here I
bad.
am at.
You want to say here's
No,
you want to tell people about a foot fungus?
Chris.
Not that you have one.
Chris.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So what I was saying was, no, I believe like there are people who are just like, I don't post anything about my significant other online. I don't even make references to him because this and that, and I don't
You're
want
like, sure
nobody
you have
out
a
in my
significant other.
business. And it's just like, okay,
Right.
that's fine. Okay, you know what? I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, right?
Right.
But if the way I see it, the way I've seen it over the last X number of years, I always feel like if the person is part of your life, then they're part of your life.
Okay.
And so it's only
I like that.
natural. Like, I'm here, he's here too. Like, I'm not going to hide. You know what I mean? Like, I don't unnaturally try to hide my significant other if
Right.
he's there. But I'm also not like, then there are the people who are kind
Every
of
picture.
condescending. You know, the condescending couples. Have you seen those online?
No. What does that mean?
The ones that are just like, this is what it takes to make a great relationship. Aren't we wonderful?
And you're like, oh my God,
this
they're
is-
stressed out.
They're gonna be divorced in 5 goddamn
Yeah, they
minutes.
may not make
Yeah, those are the people that you need to really kind of.
My wife curses me out twice a month.
dismiss.
Keeps a relationship alive.
Yeah,
Hope she might be watching.
yeah. Marcus Simpson has a yes. Don't show anyone more love on social media than your spouse or significant other. I'm gonna add significant other.
Marcus is a wise guy. We got to get him on the show.
Marcus knows what's up because
So,
it's the truth. It's
now-
like that should be your person. Everyone should know it. There should be no
So-
reason for someone to slide in your DMs and think they're gonna get some. Go
So
ahead.
so we've exhausted the unrealistic expectations.
Mm-hmm.
It can lead to jealousy, right?
it
you,
can.
You go to a big party, pre-pandemic specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Say you're at a big festival,
Mm-hmm.
and your girl sees no less than 2 or 3 pictures of you hugged up with some very round derrieres, palming. Or not palming, but slight palm. A raised palm.
Okay.
Smaller back, but 2 fingers are like on a curve of a nice ass. I'm just saying it leads to unnecessary arguments.
It does.
Same with, yep, the flip side is true.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You don't want to see I mean, I would hate to see my wife on somebody's shoulders.
Yeah, your wife like, ooh.
She's a
you
little
have
person.
To be careful.
What? Why are you always on somebody's shoulder?
Well,
Yeah,
you
that
gotta
would be bad.
Respectful.
That would be bad.
You need to be respectful at all times.
Right, exactly.
If you don't want your significant
Have the
other
story
seeing
ready.
it,
See what had happened was. But it can lead to I'm just talking about social media in general. Leads to a
people
lot of
get
jealousy.
busted.
You gotta have some very strong people who communicate a lot. Maybe that's what it is.
and then also don't like if you're out in public.
Right?
I went to an event once and I was taking a bunch of pictures and whatever posting them.
You know.
And the next day or like a couple days later, it was a destination event, right?
Right.
A few days later, my phone is blowing up. And it's from a friend of mine who was at this event. He's like, you got pictures of us up. Can you take those down?
Yeah, he was
Because,
supposed to do that.
I was
You got a
like,
situation.
no
Yeah,
pictures of you up.
situation.
Yeah, he did. But my point is don't then be out in public if you don't want people. I mean, people will take pictures of you and people are really not responsible posters, let's just say.
No one is.
They're just not.
Always know there's one around.
Right, those chosen few picnics. Those chosen few picnic posts.
Exactly.
Those are Rayshawn Harris.
Wait a minute.
said that.
Rayshawn Harris has a great show, by the way. Talking Spit. All right. Slightly younger demographic. That's my guy, right? That's my nephew.
Okay, cool.
Right?
Gotta check it out.
But he doesn't. I mean, he's not in that demo. But he has. You know what? He has been to the shows a few picnics. I'm like, how does Rayshawn Harris know about? But he has. So,
Everyone's been to the. I mean, the chosen few picnic. There's like 30,000
shout out to his
people
dad,
there.
Ricky Harris, is a good fella in the building. Mendel
Hey.
Catholic. What? Sorry.
What?
But it leads to jealousy, right?
It does.
2014 study showed that excessive social media is links to couples fighting more. So, if both of y'all are online all the time, I'm guessing y'all argue a lot. Before we take a short break, I got a quick question. I just want to know, you can check how many hours or minutes you're on social media in a week. I looked up one week. I probably spent 7 hours. So I just want to know, everybody throw some numbers up. I want to see what's the most folks spend on social media. So we're going to check that. We're going to take a quick break. Remember, right after this show, we got In the Zone with Brian Foster. If you know Brian Foster, he's gotten us all through this pandemic. The man has like 5 shows. Please stick around for that. And after that, we got Week Hell Wednesdays.
Oh.
Heaux.
Yeah.
That's how I spell it.
It gets more
Week
ratchet
Hell
from here.
Wednesdays. So we'll be back in 2 ticks. I want to know how many hours y'all spend on here, and then we'll talk about how social media is affecting these relationships more when we get back.
Yeah.
WIFTVPN.
Can I talk to you, lady? Just the other day, I ran into a good old friend of yours, and I had to ask her, how have you been? She told me you were engaged and happy. My heart fell to the floor, I know it should have been me, but I couldn't see you with no one else. But I'll believe it when I see you standing. Oh, I'll believe it to tell you how I feel. Yeah. Oh, I can't believe it. Forever, baby. I thought I was invincible, no one could take my place. I still get funny feelings when I see your face. I know the love we shared was so real. In spite of all the ups and downs that we've been through, sometimes I wish I was there with you to share your world. You were my girl, I'm still in love with you. But I know you're better off with, 'cause obviously it wasn't meant to be. I'm so glad to see you happy. But you love and life goes on. We had to go our separate ways. You found someone for you, I found someone for me. Oh, but I believe when I see you standing. Oh, I believe it to tell you. And if you don't mind, can I tell you how I feel? You're leaving me forever, baby. Please, baby, listen here. See, I got down on my knees and I begin to beg the Lord, please don't let it be known. I love that woman. I love that woman. I see you standing there. Oh, can I tell you how I feel? Oh, I can't believe it. Forever, baby. Think it over. Yeah. Think it over.
Welcome back to the Kris the Critic Show. I'm Kris with Gina B. We are talking about social media and the effects on this relationship.
Yes, we are.
So the good, the bad, the ugly, and all of that. We did talk a little bit about how it could lead to jealousy,
Yeah.
unrealistic expectations, and these are all bad things. I mean, people have been jailed. I mean, think about it. People talking about child support money they're not getting. That doesn't go over well. And so I'm just trying to keep people getting beat up.
I have had arguments break out on my page of couples.
I'm
that
telling you,
I know
that money
both of
ain't
them.
right. People get real funny acting.
Well, I was just having I had a thread and
Had nothing to do about this subject, right?
zero. And the husband popped on to just make a comment.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple comments later, the wife was like, I think it's real interesting that you can pop on here and make a comment, but you can't call nobody about your child.
So basically,
I was okay.
They just said, Gina, fuck your site.
Pretty
Fuck
much.
your thread.
I was like,
We're going to have this out right here, right now.
Sidebar conversation. I was like, okay, well, at this point, I'll just get the popcorn then.
Right.
Just, watch it all play. And then they both apologized to me later, but this is years ago, but it was really weird.
Right. One thing you have to be cautious of, and I'm guilty of this. Too much social media, and I have weeks where I spend too much time on here. See if anybody was honest on how many hours they were actually on there.
I don't know if anybody really
But every now and
knows
then,
the answer to that question.
and I always share a little bit of myself because I'm not perfect. My wife will say, we watch a lot of TV together, and we look forward to it, given these kids and work demands. Mm-hmm. And she'll say, you watching the show, and this is me. Oh, yeah, baby, I'm multitasking.
Multitask. You know what that really means?
It just sort of takes you away from. I mean, I can do it.
Some people say 2 hours. Some people say 4 hours. Karen Allen's 1 to 2 hours daily in total.
Hold on, stop. Karen Allen said 1 to 2 hours daily.
Is that not right?
I don't believe you, Karen Allen.
Okay, you don't believe Karen Allen?
No, Karen Allen's the fastest replier to anything. Right now, if you sneeze, if you check your page, Karen Allen will have said, "Bless you."
Well, if you're tagged to something and you go look at it and you respond and then you jump off, that's not really that many minutes. Marcus Simpson says he's 3 to 4 hours 3 to 4 hours per week.
Yeah,
That's actually really low.
I'm telling you, I was trying to be at 3-4 hours, but then I'll find, okay, it's only been a little bit of time here. It all adds up. Not to mention my Candy Crush addiction.
Do you really play that game?
Still, I'm on level like 2,000.
God.
I got a problem. I got OCD.
I didn't think that was still a thing.
It's not. I'm trying to give it up.
He's keeping it
If you had a
real.
drug problem, I wouldn't kid you about it. I'm trying to get over my Candy Crush addiction. If anyone has any great games to play that could wean me off of it, please feel free to throw it up. One big thing, the next two things are huge, like for real, serious things. Every now and then, I sprinkle some real life stuff in here. Social media, and we saw a little bit of Gina B earlier, it can lead to mental strain. We get so caught up on things we see remember way a long time ago they actually had newspapers? If you read about a trial, did it move you as much as seeing anything on social media? It almost drives you insane. I mean, I've never seen people was worried about an election. We've hated presidents before, but people are like, oh my God, if the orange-haired dude wins, the world will simultaneously combust.
Well, the thing, okay, so
we worry excessively about everything.
We want to talk about, so the whole
everything.
Trump, the whole George Floyd, everything. The problem,
none of that's life or death. For us.
Well, kind of almost is. Okay,
no.
But the thing is that it was the perfect storm because people were sitting around the house consuming all kinds of content because they were in pandemic quarantine, and there was nothing else to watch of substance. I don't consider Trump to be of substance,
been like
but
that
just depends.
It's
and
everything.
So my thing is, this past year has been a concentration of content overconsumption, and social media has played into that.
It's not just Trump. It's not just
that.
social media. I can pick a subject. I can talk about vaccinations.
Oh,
and I can tell you about some heated arguments.
Let's wax ad nauseum on that.
If somebody doesn't want to get vaccination,
who cares?
What you shit don't make.
Why
what
do
you
you
eat don't make
care?
me shit. I mean, who cares?
Right. But it's a topic because
I rarely quote Jay-Z, Brian Foster, because I'm a Tupac fan. Brian Foster's in the building, by the way. But hey, I did. All right, I did.
I have my favorite
Closet
Jay-Z
Hole
quote,
fan.
but I won't even talk about it.
But people have just been going, it doesn't matter what the subject is. Nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody apologizes. Everyone's lost every manner. I mean,
People can't construct sentences.
people don't.
Lord.
I'm guilty of that because I will.
Punctuation, people.
I'm a quick responder
Punctuation.
when I'm heated. So I've been trying to wean
Spelling.
myself off. I once complimented Barack Obama. Job well done. Thanks. One of the extra woke faction. Oh, you must be one of these old blah, 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 blah. Right? It went from me trying to apologize. So finally, I was like, hey, man, I watch football in Hyde Park at this restaurant. Meet me on Sunday. Say the same thing. I'll smack the hell out of you. I mean, really, we don't know each other. He shouldn't care what I think. But that's what social media does. So if you put that on a relationship, it amplifies it. So
And you also shouldn't compare your life to someone else's highlight reels.
Great segue. Because especially more so for women, it leads to body image issues.
There are so many of those right now.
But because they see we post, I share privately.
Those are the posty hides.
Some of these
Mid-Levy.
Some of these filtered Instagram women are pleasing. But there are millions of them. And they have millions of followers. And if I'm a woman and I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow, I don't look perfect like that chick. Well, she might have a fake butt. Slide of that. You know what I'm saying? Half fake face.
I use them as inspiration more than I use them as.
I don't even know why they would be inspiration.
Well,
When I see, if I saw
yourself up.
If I saw the 2021 Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm not trying to be them. Men, men are conditioned not to try to do all of that anyway.
Well, women,
y'all turn that everything is a competition.
Because of how we are each valued. You are probably more moved by the pictures of men with things like money, like accomplishments.
Absolutely, I'm like, I want some money.
That's because that's how men are valued.
Well, that's how men get women.
Tend to be valued by what we look like, and so that is the reason why we are so moved by what we see on Instagram.
But you do agree that this internet thing is not all good when it comes to that.
I'm not saying it's all good. I'm just saying that here's how I personally use it. I personally follow a lot of fitness people,
right?
Models, if you will. But I use them as inspiration as opposed to, I now need to go out and get $10,000 or $20,000 in plastic surgery.
It makes sense. I want you to sort of scroll through.
I'm scrolling. People are saying.
Okay. You know what I do like seeing?
You know what Karen Allen said? She said, let Gina finish her sentences. I'm just saying.
Karen just always likes to say I cut people off.
Well, you know. We
had a plan, Karen. Nothing to do with you, Karen. I still had 2 minutes to sort of lead this thing. I can't stand Karen sometimes. I love Karen.
Love Karen.
She's the most valuable bridesmaid in my wedding.
I haven't even met
Karen. In my wedding,
like
she's
Karen.
the most valuable MVB.
Why?
Most valuable bridesmaid. She was
talk
doing
about
everything.
Karen for a second. How was Karen?
And she has a son who's really, I have 3 daughters, but it's really my son. I love him.
Something you want to tell us?
No.
Oh.
Are you kidding? Karen, listen. I don't even know how. No, I'm just playing. I'm just saying.
How old is Karen's son?
He's grown. He's graduated.
Oh, okay.
Morehouse grad.
Okay, cool.
Shout out to Bryce.
Oops.
So
comments.
While you look at the comments, so it also makes all of us a little bit more narcissistic because now I'm concerned. I want to show people that I look
good
like
too.
This, right?
Yeah.
So but let me not knock it. I want to come to a couple of positives.
Yeah, positives. Go for it.
And then Karen, we'll let Gina B take over, and I'll just sort of sit here and ad lib.
That's okay.
It does help single people meet people.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
It does.
If I were single, man, there are some very smart people. I don't know what groups you belong to, but if I were single, I would try and get in groups with like-minded folks if I were trying to meet someone of some intelligence.
Right.
I belong to I went to University of Illinois. I'm in a Big Ten network group. Some smart people there.
Right.
Doing some really good things.
Yeah.
And some of those folks are single or divorced or whatever. It's a good place to play. It can keep you connected to your partner. I like to thank my wife, a.k.a. the Fun Police. I'm just messing with you now, babe.
Oh.
She likes funny memes.
Okay.
That's funny. So every now and then I'll see something out. That's our way to stay connected, during the day. It's what we do. I mean, y'all do y'all. One thing, and I'll let Gina B take over the show. Those people who are in some sort of relationship, married, dating, involved, when a person or two people designate their relationship status, there are better outcomes for those couples.
Okay.
So if you're with somebody and he says some shit like this, hey, babe, until we really, make this official, I love you, but let's not complicate things by saying we with each other. That's that bullshit.
Yeah, don't. If someone says, if you're with someone, and they put it's complicated on their relationship status, but I have a little trick.
Gina B.
I got a trick.
What's the trick?
So here's what we did. When we started dating and it was like official, we wanted to change our relationship status, basically to keep like people out of our DMs, etc. Right?
Y'all owe those sparks.
You can turn off. You can turn off the visibility of your relationship status.
I know that's cheating. That's the same thing.
No. You're not letting me finish.
All right, go ahead.
Turn it off, right, and then change it to in a relationship, and then you could turn it back on so it doesn't like. Okay, you turn it on. You turn it off. So that it doesn't shoot out to 2,000 people.
Oh, y'all
and then
real
you don't,
good. Y'all real. Hey, give me some. I do agree with that.
Yes, because that is the piece that I'm like,
that.
I don't want to be announcing like Gina Barge is in a relationship. It's like it's not, it wasn't, whatever. But I wanted to be there, but I didn't necessarily need now when we got engaged, he just was like, he's engaged to Gina B. And so that ended up being like all over.
Then he's like, baddest chick in the game wearing my chain. I got a question on something you said. See, Karen, I raised my hand. That was slick. Turning the feature off. Then
turn it off.
Then change it.
Then turn it back on, so it doesn't shoot out to everyone
I've often wanted to do that if I change something, given the industry you're in, on my LinkedIn profile.
Right, you can do that too.
Because I hate when people see I changed anything.
Yeah, you can set you can set your privacy.
Okay.
So that everyone doesn't really see the announcement.
Got it. Continue.
Because I will be making an announcement about my new gig soon, and I'm debating. But yeah, you can do it that way, and that way it's not like a major announcement for everyone. Right. Although it is cute to see when people are in relationships. I think it's cute.
You're like, damn, she finally got a man.
Yeah, ooh, girl.
Good job, Pam.
Like recently, people have been getting together that I kind of know. Like I knew him, I knew her. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I love it.
What they should do is, I just got out of a relationship.
Yeah,
because summertime is approaching.
The bitch. Yeah,
cupping season is coming to an abrupt close.
Oh yeah, and people have been cupping for a while. Like they have all of a sudden, they should have had a quarantine bay relationship status.
People have been doing that. Oh, STDs are up.
Yeah, because COVID. People are really.
I used to do the show in my living room, like 4, 5, 6 minutes long. I did a whole show, dating during the pandemic, and it was when the pandemic started, you're supposed to have everybody get naked immediately when they come in your house, right? Mm-hmm. Don't look at them. It was all sex, not face to face. You just couldn't breathe on anybody. It was long. It was real funny. Y'all can find this out there.
Yeah, it's on your page, right? It's on the Kris.
Somewhere.
So we never tell people where to find us, do we?
We'll work it out. They found us.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like our other stuff. Like
I know you got a lot going on, so go ahead and rattle up
your Kris the Critic page.
Rattle up your 15,000 things, Gina B.
My whole life. No, I'm on the IamGinaB.com, but I'm just we never.
We'll figure that out.
We have to do that sometime. Anyway, so that is a good point in terms of relationships and statuses and changing your status and all that fun stuff. And then there's always going to be haters. When you do things like that, right?
A lot of them. People hate on everything, right?
But who cares?
They're all stressed out. Everybody hates on everything.
Nobody cares. You're hating that you'll go hate by your damn self. Like
what they should do, I try to tell people this. You should wish that somebody does like really big things, and that you were right there with them.
That's the whole. That's my point.
I'm like,
I like for
why
the
would
tides
you not
to rise?
I want to roll with. I want to say I was right there. I was rolling with him or her.
That's my whole thing, and maybe it's because of my profession. I want.
I tell my kids that I'm like, look,
well.
if you hang out with 5 losers,
you are the
not
sum
going to be
total.
doing as well. You
of the
hang out with 5
people you hang out
millionaires. You
with.
may not be rich, but you'll learn
You'll
something
be the
about
sixth
some money.
one. You'll be the sixth one. You hang out with 5 millionaires, you'll be the sixth one,
There you
right?
go.
You hang out with 5 losers, you'll be the sixth one. It's just, but you want people, but everyone's so excited about taking people down. So
Anything that you've seen on social media play out really bad in terms of relationships?
I've seen all kinds of shit play out bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Like flame out. Like, you know, I mean, just really, really bad.
And it's always something. And if you're out there and you do this is the last advice I'm going to give because I think we've covered a lot. And then Gina B will close us out. Don't throw something out there that makes us all look even further.
Right.
Like, I don't know who he think he is, but I'm the wrong one. I'm on my way to do this. It's try. And
All
we're
that
like,
vague booking.
all right. So we.
You start vague booking. Now we got to figure out what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
then now I'm going through this. I'm like, who on the hell are you? I'm trying to put together a story.
You got a baby mama somewhere. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
so
you gotta
don't
figure it
let's
out.
just don't even do it.
Don't
That just
vague
goes
book.
back to don't come anyway.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't
sit
vague
up, Gina
book.
B, close us out. I'm just here.
You don't have to let me close it
I'm
out.
just joking.
I'm just saying. No, but I mean, I think that, you know what, just have some sort of agreement as to how you as a couple are going to handle social
Right.
media. I've created a good cadence with with my fiance on it. He likes to argue with people politically. I jump in on that sometimes.
I've weaned myself off of that.
Not all the time, because I feel like don't argue with like crazy people. He argues with crazy people, and so sometimes I step in
I
because
do
it's
as well.
just funny. But I don't do that. But I don't.
You do.
We don't have.
You do that.
We don't. Sometimes we don't have like the, jealousy. Like neither one of us has a lot of tolerance for that, or we
Right.
don't care. So that works out for us. Some people don't acknowledge each other. So I mean, whatever works for you, do that.
That's more of a danger with either newer relationships, younger folks, or relationships that might be going through some things.
Mm-hmm.
Then everything starts to look like a big thing. When a relationship is going really well, who gives? Who cares?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Don't forget, folks, right after this show, we got Brian Foster in the zone. He's always entertaining. And then after that, we have Week Hill Wednesdays. My man, Woo Kimosabi.
So, you know what? I think we have a few minutes left. I think it'd be fun to ask our viewers, what topics have we not covered that you want to see us cover? Like we have
Right.
a list.
Yeah, next week
Kris always got a list.
We're supposed to. What did I say we're talking about next week? Oh no, you keep talking.
We've got a whole
I'll tell you what we're
list.
talking about next week because
I don't know what order you decided.
I got a whole life planned out.
He does. He sent us a list. He sent me a list, and
I was going to tell them
was
what
to order
shows next week.
the list.
Sometimes I
So
like
tell
to do
him.
that.
Yeah. But I would like for them to tell us, like, what is it that you feel should
One
be
of our
covered?
listeners texted me and said fitness models go to the DR to get lipo.
Oh, and that's why. Look, don't
True.
don't check them out in a couple years, because who knows what that's gonna. We were talking earlier about the DR, not the DR. We were talking about
those women serve a purpose.
we were talking about plastic surgery,
Right.
and sagging booty.
So next week I think we'll do the cougar and the sugar daddy.
Okay, we can do that.
No,
We can do that. We
I
can
got
do
a
that.
couple lined up.
Somebody wants Goody back. I would love Goody back. I loved Goody.
We'll bring Goody back.
We need Goody back. Somebody, you need some tips? You need some tips, Gene Cross? What's up? He's asking for Goody back.
Gene Cross needs no tips. Gene Cross he's a one-woman man, Gene Cross.
Well, listen, that does not mean that
So that's why he doesn't need
spice it
Goody
up.
back.
You can spice
Okay,
it
maybe
up.
he does.
Everyone can spice it up.
Gino.
Everyone. Don't give up on the spice.
I've been knowing Gino a long time. Gene used to give me his cable. Like, I would run a cable cord
Uh-huh.
from his apartment down to mine.
And you guys lived hopefully in the same building.
Yeah.
Like,
But,
not
did it
down
go
the
through
street or
I think it went to maybe his frat brothers into mine. It was something like that.
Okay. Well, that's nice. You're very close then. But we need to seriously, we do need to bring Goody back, because that was a great show. She was like, we were her guest.
But you know what? Goody,
I loved it.
Oh, for anybody who likes Goody, throw up a like. I just want to give Goody a shout out. Goody won some sort of adult Instagram person of the year. Came with like a $7,500 prize,
She deserved it.
a trophy. Can we even get Goody? I don't even know. Goodie's
You got her last time. That was Kris's doing. He got Goody.
I probably fooled her. Goody has like 15,000 followers. Speaking of which, any of you who've liked any of our shows, please like the show, share the show, follow the show, tell other people to follow the show.
Yes.
Every now and then,
look at all those likes for Goody.
I like all
love
that.
it. That's
I like
dope.
it. So, because occasionally I give out things. That's it. So
We should give things away.
we should give. I'm giving something away next week. What do you want to give away?
I'll give away a T-shirt.
I'll give away a bottle of wine. So we're not going to tell you what we're giving, why we're giving it away.
Karen Allen's got a good one. Is it cheating if there's no ring?
Maybe we should. It is.
It is.
Depending the relationship.
Yeah. In my relationship, before there was a ring, there would have been cheating. I mean, that would have been cheating.
I'm not. I am of the mindset that if we are not in high school or young 20s, you are either married or you are not married.
Well, you have to kind of be on the path. Anyway,
That's
see how good that show could be? We already have opinions.
We'll do. Maybe we'll do cheating. Would you take back an unfaithful spouse? Want to do that?
Oh, yeah, let's do that one.
I've done that in
I've
short
got lots
form.
of opinions on that.
So we got some options for next week. So until then, please stay tuned in.
Please.
We are out of here. Thank you for coming. Stay safe. It's supposed to be warm next week. And what else you got, Gina B? That's it? Thank you for coming. Don't forget, like, share, follow.
Please like, please share, please follow. Please come back next Wednesday and see us.
Folks, go back after the show and try to respond to a lot of you, especially those who come on here a lot. So we thank you. Be safe. Kris the Critic.
Thank you, Randy
Gina
Span.
B. Honest Peace. Great show, Gina B. Appreciate you being here. As always.
Thank you all.